Anna Nix is an unhappy teen who kills her rapist stepdad in self-defense. She landing in a juvenile hellhole where the only lure is survival of the best. She soon realizes that this is not a place for weaklings or whiners, but for fighters and schemers. She has to deal with cruel guards, ruthless gang, and hungry predators who want to own her body and soul. Anna has to fight to keep her thoughts and her will in a place where no one gives a damn if she lives or dies. In the quiet of her room, Anna asks. Young musician immerses herself in her musical love. Suddenly, her stepfather bursts in an attempt to assault her bravely. She manages to push him away, but in the chaos, he stumbles upon a sharp thing that slices his throat. Moments later, he takes his final breath, accused of her stepfather's murder. Anna finds herself standing before the courts. Anna pleads her case to the judge, explaining that she acted in self-defense against her stepfather's strong advances. However, her mother speaks against her, painting her husband as a good man. The judge, swayed by the evidence, sentences Honor to a youth detention center. Upon arrival, Frank, the jail warden, introduces himself to the visitors. Honor is then led to her cell where she meets Jeannie, a quiet and solitary girl. Despite her guarded nature, Jeannie feels drawn to Anna and secretly touches herself while watching her sleep. As the prisoners were allowed to step outside for some fresh air, Anna found herself face to face with Cody, a tough, streetwise dame, who told her of the troubles she could face if she stayed alone in the harsh prison surroundings with two groups of girls ruling the scene, one led by the fierce killer and the other by the feisty Cody. Anna was torn between joining a group or going solo, despite Cody's effort to recruit her with promises of friendship and safety, even going so far as to rally her gang to frighten Anna. The young woman stood her ground and refused to be swayed. With a purposeful stride, Anna walked away from the fight, intent on carving out her own way in this frightening new world. As if insulted by Anna's refusal, Cody and her gang corner the poor girl in a room and continued to lay into her with fists flying. The brutal attack left Anna buttered and bruised, causing the doctor at the clinic to push her to seek out Frank, the man who could supposedly offer her safety from such violence. But when Anna naively confided in Frank about her desire to be left alone, he saw a chance to strike a deal for his services. Sadly for him, Anna had no interest in playing his twisted game, and she returned to herself feeling disgusted and depressed by the constant fear of being preyed upon in this cruel place. In a twisted change of events, Jeannie, a master of sweet talk, used her beauty to comfort Anna, flooding her with compliments about her stunning beauty. Anna, unable to resist Jeannie's moves, found herself involved in a passionate encounter. However, as they strolled outside the next day, their blissful bubble was quickly burst by the imposing power of Killer. Honor's fury sparked, and in a bold move to protect herself, she made a life-altering choice to join Cody's gang. But Cody, the cunning boss, wasn't quick to trust Honor. She requested proof of her trust and strength before she could become a true member. With a wicked glint in her eyes, she proposed a daring challenge for Honor to face off against none other than Claire herself. The gauntlet was thrown, and Anna decided to prove her worth. Accepted that. In a flurry of anticipation, Anna faced Killer, head on her heart pounding in her chest. With a swift and surprising move, Anna unleashed her hidden fierceness, sending a pyrite tickler's face. The hit sent shockwaves through the air, leaving everyone stunned by Award's audacity. It was a moment of rebellion and triumph. As Anna stood tall, proving to Cody and the gang that she owned the metal they sought, little did they know that this bold pie-throwing act would mark the beginning of Honor's exciting journey as she accepted her newfound place among the ranks of the gang. Cody grabbed the entire fight with her separate camera. Following this, Frank sets a punishment on Honor by sending her to isolation naked for a length of 48 hours. He threatens to extend her isolation for a month as she does not give in to his goals. Faced with this situation, Honor has no choice but to submit to Frank's demands and pamper him. Having finished the task entrusted to Cody, Honor is now accepted into the gang. As a welcome gesture, Cody offers her a small gift. She herself cannot escape Honor's charm and eventually succumbs to temptation. As the sun rose on a new day, Anna's mother came to visit her, but instead of comfort and love, all she had was blame and shame for her daughter. She refused to believe that her late husband could ever have been capable of such crimes and continued to shame Honor for his death. But Anna has found a new family, a gun that accepted her and defended her. Unwinkler, an old enemy, came to challenge her. Anna was ready with her gang by her side. She unleashed all the punches and kicks that she had been holding back, leaving Keela beaten, and beat Frank, the sleazy businessman who had been using her for his own gain. He has footage of her fight with Killer and threatened to use it against her in court. unless she did exactly what he wanted. Anna felt sick to her stomach at the thought of touching Frank again, but she knew she had no choice. She reluctantly agreed to his demands, hoping that she could somehow beat him in the end. As the strain in the air thickened, Anna's frustration reached its boiling point, and she lashed out at Jeannie with an angry slap. Little did she know that her angry outburst would have dire results, as a guard noticed the cut on Jeannie's lip during an inspection. The guard wasted no time in hauling Anna off to Frank, who had used his power to take advantage of her in the past. But this time Anna stood her ground and refused to give in to his advances, blaming him of raping her every day. Filled with rage at being denied, Frank threatened to throw Honor into an adult prison where she would truly understand what it meant to be forced, feeling stuck and alone. On a turn to Cody for solace, seeking warmth in the form of a stimulant. Despite the dangerous situation, Cody couldn't help but express her respect for Honor and warn her about the risks of addiction. As the two shared a moment of weakness, we couldn't help but feel drawn into a tangled world of power dynamics and emotional turmoil. As Anna tried to grapple with the newfound love from Cody, she found herself becoming extremely agitated and restless. Desperate to escape her own feelings, she stumbled upon a group of girls shooting up and chose to join in. Despite Cody's tries to intervene and help her, Anna was determined to be left alone once again. And so Bodhi made the tough move to officially kick her out of the gang all alone, and with nowhere to turn, on a slide deeper into addiction, injecting herself with dangerous amounts of drugs on a daily basis. As her health deteriorated, she became increasingly paranoid and unstable, convinced that Killer was out to get her in a fit of drug-induced mania, on a retaculous, single-handedly driven by a desperate need for revenge. Despite the odds stacked against her, she emerged victorious. But at what cost? I feel sad as I watched Anna's descent into darkness and self-destruction. Frank, the jail guard, cruelly sends her back to solitary confinement, stripped of all clothing and left to fend for herself. Anna's addiction takes hold and she spirals further into sorrow upon her release. But Cody, ever the caring friend, tries to help and save her from herself. Anna, however, is too far gone and threatens to end it all just in the nick of time. The guard intervenes and takes her bike to isolation. Days without drugs take their toll, and Award's grip on reality slips away. In a moment of panic, she uses a broken piece of her tray to cut her wrists. It's a frightening scene, one that leaves you on the edge of your seats, thinking if Anna will ever find her way back from them. Caretaker spots her just in time, and Swifty sends her for medical help. Following her surgery on her witnesses, a growing number of people, much like herself, who have lost their grip on reality due to drug abuse. Tragically, one of the patients succumbs to her addiction. This terrible experience serves as a wake-up call for Honor, who resolves to quit drugs for good. Desperate to reconnect with her mother, she finally reaches out her mother. Now regretful for having sent Anna to prison without knowing the whole truth, vows to gain her release as soon as possible. Once Anna has fully recovered, she crosses paths with Frank. She offers herself to him on one condition, that he separate her from everyone else, allowing her to be alone. Intrigued, Frank agrees, as this fits with his own hobbies. He also envisions Anna showcasing her skills in a competition and hands her a violin, pushing her to practice. However, when Cody learns of this plan, she slashes Honor's face and tells her gang to attack her once more. Feeling deceived by Frank for not keeping his word, Honor's trust wavers. Determined to expose the truth, Honor agrees to confide in the doctor. However, unseen to her, Frank watches their talk through a hidden camera and tells an inmate to eliminate the doctor at the talent show. Anna captivates the crowd with her exceptional solo performance. Following the event, Frank explains to Anna that he has secured a release hearing for her. In return, he asks that she spend the night with him later. When Anna shares the news with Jeannie, she cautions Anna not to get her hopes up, thinking that Frank may be controlling her. In a bold move, Anna decides to secretly record her meeting with Frank, planning to use the footage, as proven during her parole hearing, to expose him to the board members. She persuades Cody to land her a camera for the covert mission. Later, when Honor meets with Frank, who is eager for one last private moment with her, she successfully catches the incriminating act on film. During the release hearing, Honor impresses everyone with her articulate answers and appears on the verge of getting her conditional release in a stunning change of events. Frank plays Anna, urging the members of the parole board to reject her plea for freedom. He says that Anna, a fiery spirit, has been a perpetual troublemaker within the prison walls, but little does he know that Anna has a backup plan tucked away. With a sly grin, she shows a video she had cleverly recorded earlier. As the footage plays for all to see, Frank's face turns a ghastly shade of pale. He sees he has made a grave error, desperately trying to snatch the incriminating evidence from the hands of justice. Alas, fate is not on his side as cops swiftly apprehend him, his feeble efforts at erasing his misdeeds in vain the members of the parole board having borne witness to Frank's treachery are deeply touched by Anna's resilience. They gather in a unanimous decision, giving her the freedom she so rightfully deserves, overwhelmed with a mix of thanks and bitter sweetness. Anna bids farewell to her loyal friends Jeannie and Cody, who have stood by her side through thick and thin, having weathered countless trials and tribulations. Anna finally finds herself stood before an awe-inspiring audience, ready to fulfill her dream. With her favorite cello in hand, she unleashes a wave of charming melodies that echo through the hearts of all who listen. And that's it for today's video. I hope you like this recap of Jailbait, a movie that will make you cringe, cry, and cheer for the loser. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more movie recaps. And if you have any ideas for movies you want me to review next, leave them in the comments below. Remember, if you're ever thinking of breaking the law, just remember that orange is not a good look on anyone. I'll see you in the next show. Until then, stay out of trouble.